I love that sign. I know. Well, Marion, the inappropriate artist. And I have no idea what today is going to bring for me, as per the usual in my life. I am still here in Truth or Consequences. I am enjoying a morning bowl of oatmeal. So my favorite flavor, and the only flavor I really want to eat, is cinnamon and spice. And for those of you who are cinnamon and spice fans, you know my pain. And that is that most grocery stores do not offer it as a box of the single flavor. You have to buy a variety pack to get the cinnamon and spice. I don't want people putting apples in my cinnamon and spice oatmeal. I like apple pie with cinnamon in it, but it is different when it is in your oatmeal. Now, there are those of you who are going to say, just buy oats, make your own cinnamon and spice. I have tried this. I do not like it. I have a nugget who is trying to get into the windshield again, and I think I have to just resign my fact to the fact I'm just never going to have privacy. Not with this kid. Stealthy camping, not possible for me. Not with her. It's just not possible. Anyway, this is important. Don't put apples in my cinnamon and spice oatmeal. So these variety packs also then have maple brown sugar, which in a desperate pinch, I will consume. I'm not a fan though. And it makes me force feed myself for my breakfast. And I know there are those of you out there who are going to say, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're being really picky. But if you are somebody who identifies with what I'm talking about and how difficult it is. So I've shared with you a lot of stuff on this channel, and one of the things that I may have alluded to in the past is that I'm in recovery of an eating disorder. So it is a constant ebb and flow. My things, I don't know what you want to call them, right? So the things that are that make it difficult for me when I am under stress. So when I'm under stress, it's really important for me to have just regular, easy stuff to feed myself with that I really like, because otherwise my appetite does disappear and I am truly force feeding myself to make sure that I'm eating. It is not a pleasant experience. And there are those, and then I go through waves of like, oh my God, feed me Seymour, and I will consume massive amounts of food. And I love when that happens because the other is painful to me. I need to have the oatmeal in the morning to spur my appetite. And I have really tried to have other flavors of oatmeal. I've tried to make oatmeal. I've tried to do all sorts of stuff to change this for me and to try to find another solution. However, after so much time of really making an effort trying all of these different things, I find I don't do it. I get a mental block. It's like my taste buds just completely turn off. And no, it has nothing to do with being sick. This is something I have dealt with my whole life. Probably since, well, most of my life. Okay. Because it probably started in my late teens. Or early teens even. You know. For those of you who have the opposite, when you get stressed, you overeat, you binge eat, right? For me, it's the opposite. I lose my appetite completely. And I really struggle with that. I have lost a lot of weight since my sister passed away. And by a lot of weight, it's probably like 10 pounds. And I know that doesn't sound like a ton, but for someone who is my size, it's a lot. And it's a lot because I know how long it takes me to put that back on. To get back to a healthy weight takes years for me. It's not an easy process. Society says what I look like is great. I know what I feel like is horrible. My joints hurt more when I'm at a low weight. My mobility decreases because of it. My metabolism is so sped up that even meditating becomes difficult because it keeps this constant rush through my body. So calming down becomes difficult. You know, I don't weigh myself. And you say, how do you know you lost 10 pounds? I don't. I actually think it's more. But it's too scary to think about the more. But I know because there's a pair of jeans I have that I should not be able to fit into. They're my marker. That's how I know. And they're very loose. Part of my struggle is also with food prep. So, this is not me making excuses. I'm sharing something that there may be others out there who struggle like I do with this. Living in the van does make it more difficult for me to do certain things, and one of them is prep food. And I already had a problem with prepping food. So it means I live on a lot of processed stuff. Because if prepping is what's stopping me from eating, I still need to put food in my belly. Right? So I have to make it easy for myself so that I actually eat. And sometimes it's really difficult. I eat fabulous when other people are cooking. I know. I know what that sounds like. And I have shamed myself enough over it without others piling it on. I shame myself for being lazy. I shame myself for being unable to do the things that I need to do to feed myself. And when I'm places where people are feeding me, it's absolutely wonderful. Because I'm like, oh my God, and I'll consume what's put in front of me. Yeah. And right now I'm going through one of those times where it's just really difficult for me to prep for myself. My whole first year I got in a really good rhythm. I was so proud of myself, and I still am. So I know it can happen. And every day I practice acceptance. And I want the grief to pass so that I can get back to being able to take care of myself again. And until then, so a friend kindly bought 2 variety packs and gave me all the cinnamon spice and maple brown sugar, so I have a fallback. Because I can't handle throwing out food either. It's all part of it. There's a lot wrapped up in it. I've worked really hard in my life to deal with the things that caused it. And I've come such a long way. And I love myself so much. I have learned to love all of this. Even when it's fighting me. And that's what it feels like. Like my body is fighting me. My body is fighting my soul. I want more than anything to not have this be an issue for me. And today I'm really hoping that by sharing this with all of you, that accountability and putting it out into the ether that I will be able to end this cycle and be able to get back to prepping for myself again. Well, I know today wasn't like a big traveling video or anything like that, and sometimes I want to share my experience, strength, and hope. I know I'm on the right path toward healing, and I know that it is not a constant state of progress, and that sometimes I step backwards. And sometimes that backward stepping is out of my control. And this is one of those situations that feels very much like it's out of my control. I hope, I'm putting this out. It's a day before a holiday, which is all about eating. So, for those of you out there who struggle like I do with food, whichever direction it takes you in, our struggle is the same. I will be thinking of you. And already, I feel a little bit better about this situation, about being able to finish this oatmeal. Thank you for letting me share with you. I wish you all the best Thanksgiving possible. I hope you get the opportunity to enjoy friends if you want, family if you want, or just being on your own for a change. Maybe you need a break from all of that, so take it. There's no law that forces us to sit down at a table with everybody and eat. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. I, however, want to eat tomorrow, so I will happily sit down at a table with friends and have gratitude for the food in front of me and for the friends around me. Thanks for joining me today, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.